Yo, Ted, it's Zach with Bike Sports TV Cribs.
Knock, knock. Welcome.
How's it going?
Excellent. How are you?
Good.
Want to come on in?
Yeah, please.
We got our welcome mat.
I'll wipe my feet, you know. We're by the river.
So we're here on the tail end of Steamboat, naturally. We've got the family rig. This is a van that took a lot of creativity and reliance on our friend John, who owns the company PTCH, Place to Call Home, because we had a previous van which we got at the very beginning of the pandemic, which is when we had our first child. And we live in Vermont, and the entire all of our daughter's extended family lives in Seattle. And so we wanted a way that involved not getting on an airplane to get out to Seattle. So we got a van, and it was amazing, and we loved it, and it was a good practice van. And then when we came to decide that we were gonna have another child, we were like, oh shoot, this van is actually built out for one kid. And as much as it sounds ridiculous to get a second different van to bring a human along about the size of an enormous burrito, we came to that point and said, you know what, we're into van life. Let's make this a thing. So, important things we discovered. For example, going from that first van to second. Storage is absolutely key. So stuff like this, we didn't have any upstairs storage in the van before. That whole thing you see up there, similar story. We didn't have air conditioning. We had, which we do have now, which is amazing. Yeah. We had one fan, and this one has two, which really cycles air incredibly well. We didn't have a faucet. We did have a tiny little fridge before. Anyway, the punchline being, we absolutely love this thing.
Yeah.
Filling up the family of four. We're gonna put them all in here, Laura and the two kids, and we're gonna do a cool tour of the Western Rockies. We'll hit up Crested Butte this afternoon, probably get down to Telluride, zip over across to Moab, and then get to Park City for the Park City point to point in 2 weeks.
Nice.
So it's a little bit of organized chaos or completely disorganized chaos when you get all the kids in here, but like when it's good, it is great. And it's at the campsite, you got a river going by, you're making dinner. And then I joke, you got the AC on, you're doing dishes in your van, you're like, yes, we're really camping, this is it, you know?
If you're riding, you know, you need to be able to clean up and cook, and like, you can't just like, unless you're in a hotel, like there's not a lot of, like you can't be in a tent. It's just not possible.
Exactly. No, the ability to spread out is key. Obviously, or maybe not obvious, Laura and I both ride a lot. And so if we're gonna have a babysitter on a particular day, you can't be like, all right, babysitter, here's your homestead, watch out the kids. You know, those are the points that you do need an Airbnb or a hotel. And then so often we'll use the van to get from point A to point B, but camping is an absolute highlight, which we love. So
run me through like some nitty gritty. So like power, what you got going on in here, water, that sort of stuff.
Yep. Kind of ridiculous, but kind of love it. Given how much time you're going to be sitting in the van, we got two Scheelman seats up front, which is kind of like sitting in the Lamborghini of seatness. Really comfortable. I pinged a friend who had these seats, and I was like, what do you think of them? He's the same size and dimensions as I am. And he's like, tell you what, I never think about how uncomfortable I am.
Yeah.
They've been amazing. Similar change from the previous van to this one. This one does have a lot of bells and whistles, like rear camera, or you know, lane monitoring, lane correction kind of stuff, wind sensor. I mean, it's just...
Does it actually hold you in the lane like for a second?
You can't do the thing where you go full Tesla and pass out, but it'll give you a little shimmy of the steering wheel. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, the base vehicle itself it's kind of dreamy. It's kind of ridiculously nice. Yeah. Everything in the van that you see back here is built on what I want to call T-tracks, L-tracks. Thank you, Laura. Which means everything is modular. So we've had another adult seat in here. We had a seat here, a seat here, a seat here, because we did bring our very dear friend who watches the kids on a week-long trip last year to Montana. Obviously a bit more cozy. She did camping outside, but we had 3 adults and 2 kids in here. It was kind of amazing.
Yeah.
But
it just clicks on, or like actually, I've never worked with it.
So,
like, I don't see bolts or anything on all the chairs.
These are bolted in.
Too.
It would take me about Okay, remove the child seat, remove the stuff below. But once I'm lifting the lever, it takes 15 seconds to get the chair out.
Yeah.
It takes 3 seconds to get
Easier
the chair
than the actual car seat getting on
out.
the chair.
We could pivot it. We could make it go
That's rad.
180 degrees. We could move it anywhere along the line. We could put the car seat here so you have better access back here.
Is that what the bed's on as well?
Bed is on that. We'll move back there in a sec, but yeah, same thing. This is on it. Like if we say, shoot, we want to move this forward, this entire system is on it. We can move this forward and back, which we actually have done.
Yeah.
So here's your kitchen galley area, right? Fridge, which currently is filled with exclusively glutinous items, purely beer and baked goods. I guess there's eggs in there too.
That's been a theme for like these cyclist-specific van and camper builds, is the beer to everything else ratio is always solid.
Beer to everything else ratio is key. Big old deep sink, little drying area full of some mix of, as much as it's completely disheveled, these are clean dishes.
And when you're getting out of town, it's like everything goes into the sink so it doesn't
Exactly. Well, and even as is, I mean, this is a disheveled area, but you know, you got your dishes up here of all kinds, cutting boards, bowls, kids' cups, knives, scissors. We do have a induction one top cook pan, which is this bad dog.
Nice.
So a lot of one pot meals, which is great. Typically the coffee maker is right here, but that is at our friend's house, which is where we've spent the past couple days.
Yeah.
Kitchen supplies up here. This area has the whole heater system. So it is the water heater as well as the heat system for if you're gonna do some like winter camping type stuff. One decision that we wanted a bathroom. We wanted a toilet. Bathroom in the loose sense of the word. If you take up an entire hard-walled bathroom, that's gonna take up so much room. So basically, this is our seat, our step to get from here up into bed.
Yeah.
But it's also the toilet, which is a cartridge toilet, very simple system. It's a Thetford, which is a wonderful brand in my experience of toileting.
They have so many options.
It's
too,
ridiculous.
Like, it's crazy.
It's kind of hilarious. It's like the 350, the 360A, blah, blah, blah. But then what we also do, here's a shower head. We have a shower curtain. It's this thing that deploys into a giant rectangle. Clip it up here. Hot water produced from the hot water down here, and you can shower in the van. It collapses down really quickly.
Is it like structured, like it has rings that like?
It doesn't have rings. It has a hard rectangle up top and a hard rectangle down below, and it's just opens and closes like I don't even know what, almost like a slinky. It's kind of brilliant.
Yeah.
But then not having it take up so much space is supremely helpful. A microwave was something I decided that I really wanted, because when you're reheating kids' quesadillas or what have you, microwave has been a very clutch purchase and really cool. Everything is powered off this Goal Zero. Insert various letters and numbers for the model.
Looks like a 300 or something, like just depends on the amp hours, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it is like learning a new different language. I mean, just understanding the electronics, which is something that I am far from proficient at, but if it is a language, I probably speak like an 18-month-old. But I mean,
the Goal Zero helps with that. Like, you don't have to speak the language. You're not connecting your own batteries. It's like this will power the stuff or not, and that's
bingo. This will power the stuff, and there's a monitor to tell you how quickly you're going to burn through the power.
Yeah.
This thing it's great. Solar up top, which is powering it when we're on the road, and then also traditional AC power to give it a quick boost.
And what do you know how much on the roof you have? Probably 400 amp hours, something like that.
Yes. Like I said, I don't speak the language. Honestly, I don't know. That is a great question. Little tools. I would probably have this whether or not we have kids, but there's Cheerios and goldfish on the ground all the time. So cleaning devices, be it this or a dustpan, are supremely important. Very happy to have those. All the crap you see below me is where we are storing food. So we do our grocery shopping and it lands in these containers. When you're camping, it's beans, it's pasta, it's rice, it's cereal, it's a lot of maple syrup products. And then accessorize with a few spices, olive oil, butter,
Yeah.
That's standard.
One pot meals, like you said.
Exactly.
It is really clean in here too. Like that Black & Decker is probably the hardest working thing in here maybe, but.
There's a good chance that's the case. Yeah. It's a longer wheelbase. It's a bigger vehicle. This is the 160. Previous one was 144. But it was to make sure that we had sleeping for 4. So when Hayden, our youngest, was a baby, we put a pack and play right here. That was great. But now that he's graduated to what I call the lobster trap, which is what you can see over here.
You just throw a raw chicken breast in there.
You never know who you're gonna catch. I went to the hardware store and I explained, I'm trying to create a fence. I'm trying to create a pack and play so that I can put my, at that point, what? 2-month-old child in there and have him not roll away.
Yeah.
And it worked great. So what it is I think this is the kind of netting and fencing that you put around your garden to protect it from deer and vermin. And then a bunch of carabiners, and there will be this is a mattress, but then we also put the traditional pack and play base in there. And then you carabine him in, and just like a lobster trap, he can get in, but he can't get out without the assistance of mom and dad. Hazel's bed over here. What is cool about both beds, and although we have not utilized it this way, is they're full-size beds. I mean, you could put 4 adults in here. Obviously, that'd be very cozy when you're trying to all cook or whatever, but the kids will certainly be able to grow into this vehicle, which is really, really neat.
Is Hazel in like the clubhouse age yet, where if you were at home would build like a blanket tent and stuff? So this probably is great. Loving it.
Yeah, she built a fort literally 2 days ago. Probably her first fort. When we first got the van, it was summer 2022. It was in our driveway. It was the weekend of Rooted Vermont, the event that we created, and we're like, Hazel, we're gonna have a cool little camp out. I want you to get used to this. So Laura and Hayden were sleeping inside. Hazel and I were sleeping in here. And in her excitement all throughout the night, she rolled out of bed and okay, whatever. She fell out of, and that was probably the second time she fell out of bed. And then this time she happened to cry for a little bit longer period of time. So I'm sleeping up here. I hop down. My watch has a light on it, so I shine the watch. I'm like, what is on her? Turns out she had split her eye open.
Oh, geez.
Yes, her eyebrow. I mean, what I saw was blood, not the greatest thing in the world. The punchline being, she got some stitches. She's fine. It makes for a good. Here's the van story. Yeah. But what we've done is installed this wall.
Yeah.
Which keeps her in bed. She is not in any way terrified of the van as a result. She loves it. This morning she was saying, hey, can we please, let's go camp. I want to go camp. When are we going to go to the campsite? So, I mean, everything, like I said, about the entire van is modular, but this little wall here keeps her in bed.
That's a fun, how you bent your derailleur hanger story. Exactly. Like, the bike fell, or my kid fell out of that. Yeah.
Lastly, up here, storage galore. I mean, again, if it was just Laura and me on these trips, I think we'd have copious amount of storage, which is great, but
taking care of other humans.
Everything.
Yeah.
Kids' bike helmets, kids' life jackets. We're basically, given this time of year and going high up in the Rockies, you do need, not 4 seasons, but you need a good 3-season level of
jackets,
so on and so forth. So, that's the gist here. We can migrate to the back to illustrate
the garage.
This is a cycling
vehicle.
Awning for giving yourself a little bit of shade when you're out camping, albeit not this exact spot, but that is a fun feature. These on both sides, to the uninformed, allow you, if our bed was oriented the other way, I mean, Laura's and my head are here, our feet are that way. We are sleeping in line with the van, but we could pivot it this way if we were to lower the bed and give ourselves some extra height, because I ain't short. We wanted to build the van with the capacity of holding 4 bikes. So often we'll have both her and my mountain bikes out back, and then our gravel bikes, depending on the tire of choice, become our gravel bikes or road bikes. So those will tend to live indoors. Here, much like everything in the vehicle, you want a heck of a lot of storage. So cleaning supplies, spare tubes, spare tires, lube, sponges, hydration packs, just all the extraneous crap of, that's the wrong word, all the extraneous wonderful stuff that makes
necessities,
cycling
yeah.
equipment intensive sport goes there here that I knew was going to be an imperative part of living on the road. Welcome to the garage. So, the two kids' beds, Hayden's, Hazel's. The reality is, given that they're both, yay tall humans, the lower half of the bed can be a heck of a lot of storage. When we are completely packed up, as we're going to be shortly this afternoon, we'll have a 2-kid stroller here, which takes up a lot of room. And then just wheels and bags and all the stuff that makes us human over there. Traditionally, again, this afternoon when we get up and go, 2 bikes here, they're going to be facing opposite directions, but here's Laura's gravel bike, mine will end up on the other side. A really great sliding tray system so that I can access both bikes. I could get them out easily. What is also neat, if we were to ever travel sans kids, is both beds can go up against the wall. Yeah, we can put 4 bikes down here with these cool Ceres modular systems. You can see the different through axle types, but
Yeah.
you can basically put any kind of modern day bike on there, which is really neat.
You can like forward or back so the bars aren't hitting. And
Bingo. It
it's
ends
pretty
up
dope.
being a bit of a puzzle, but truth be told, when you're shoving 4 bikes in here, you feel like you're already mastered the universe.
Yeah.
So you were asking about swapping tires, this over here is a Bayer TLC Pro. It is a micro mini air compressor. So,
And it doesn't have a tank, right? It's tankless, so it just like
exactly.
and just like blows it up.
It's tiny. It hits it with a ton, like just the right amount of air that you need to get a tire seated. And as much as it sometimes is the bane of my existence to be swapping tires, it's really neat to be able to do this in the back of the.
And modern tubeless has gotten so much better. Like 5-8 years ago, you're like, if you had a tire mounted ever before, it's never going back on again. So
exactly.
Yeah.
You can see a bit that the beds can go up and down, like we were talking about. Well, that L-track. This bed used to be probably 6 inches higher, and in this area we had our water tank, and then we ended up lowering it and putting the water tank beneath the vehicle so that Hayden could actually sit up in bed and not smash his head on our bed. So yeah, all the water system is below. Dang. I think that's all I got.
yeah,
Anything else come to mind? This is our van in a nutshell.
yeah, it's pretty dope. Thanks, Ted.
Thank you very much.
That is the King's Residence. They're off for another Colorado small mountain town adventure for the next couple weeks on the way to, you said Park City?
Park City, you got it.
Cool. Good luck to Ted. Like and subscribe, Bike Sports TV Cribs, and check out the previous and next episodes.
Bye-bye.